Honorable partners, guests, good afternoon. Welcome everyone to today's themed seminar hosted by the Hong Kong Talent Exchange on entrepreneurship. We are most welcome and we are thankful for the support from the relevant organization. I'm Flora, MC for today. This event will be streamlined via the Talent Office's WeChat video channel and on LinkedIn. So in the final session, you are most welcome to ask questions. So technology and innovation advances rapidly. Hong Kong's youth face unprecedented opportunities and challenges. In today's seminar, we'll delve into the local innovation and technology ecosystem, help participants access entrepreneurial resources, and explore diverse career pathways. Without further ado, let's first welcome Mr. Steve Gao, Advisor of Hong Kong Talent and Entrepreneurs Association, Executive Chairman of Hong Kong Youth Scientists Association, to talk about technological innovation and opportunities for Hong Kong youth. Please. Honorable guests and online participants, greetings. Thank you, Hong Kong Talent Exchange and my association for inviting me to do this sharing. My topic is about Hong Kong innovation and entrepreneurship, especially the opportunities for youths. So I work in aviation, innovation and R&D, and I'm also the executive chairman of Hong Kong Youth Scientists Association. First of all, let me ask you a question. In recent years, well, I don't know how long you have been in Hong Kong. In recent years, what is the keyword that gives you the deepest impression and feeling? So finance, yes. Finance has been an element that we have been proud of. Another term must be technology. Starting from 2022, we clearly have felt that in relation to technology and tech and innovation, Hong Kong has put a lot of attention on it, and the government's involvement is also changing rapidly. Why such change? Let me share with you. First, our external environment and internal factors have led to an irreversible fundamental change in Hong Kong's economic structure. We know that the finance sector is one very important industry, and that's the only sector with positive growth. For the other, for example, retail and tourism, there have been much changes, especially in the international landscape. So as a result, there is irreversible change. So Hong Kong is a big city and also a big economy. So where should we start? I think innovation and technology is one point, and then compared to Singapore in the past 20 years, we have seen a big difference between Singapore and Hong Kong. There are many similarities in terms of industrial structure and demographics, and also area. So in the past, when we developed our industries, we had a shortage of land and population as well. Singapore's population is two-thirds of Hong Kong. Singapore's area is also two-thirds of Hong Kong's. But if you refer to Singapore's economic data, 1/4 to 1/3 of their population are still working in industries. And in Singapore, well, it is also a marine city. The industries are energy, chemical, life science, semiconductor manufacturing, and so on. These are very important. And there are challenges to demographics and environmental protection. And Singapore has proven that in terms of industries and technology, in fact, there can be some kind of coherence or some sort of convergence. So actually, if you refer to the Hong Kong SARG's work and also the central government, well, the governments are promoting the Northern Metropolis development. And if you refer to actual implementation of the government's work, the North Metropolis innovation and technology development is given much priority. So this is going to be a new growth driver for Hong Kong's prosperity and stability. It is also a showcase of our country's favorable policies. We can make use of one country, two systems to develop our technology and industries. Hong Kong has been reunited with the motherland for 27 years already. And then given such time span, if we start a new battlefield in Hong Kong, if after some time, if there is innovation and technology development in Shenzhen and also near the Loop and then around Victoria Harbour, there will be financial development, then that is a good pathway. So what are Hong Kong's strengths or advantages of our business environment? I think you are familiar with these. Well, we have much advantages in our business environment. Many young people choose to stay in Hong Kong or come to Hong Kong for development because of these favorable factors. There is very vibrant entrepreneurial environment and also connection with GBA. Last year till this year, Hong Kong has once again gone back to the #1 position in terms of IPO globally. Hong Kong continues to maintain a big amount of financing, and then more than 500 billion for this year. And then there are also many high-tech companies doing fundraising here. So if there are more such enterprises coming to Hong Kong, then there would be better industrial development in this regard. And then here you can see a research in the past 5 years, Hong Kong government in promoting technology and innovation and R&D. Much investment has been made. And then there are also some favorable conditions which you are familiar with. And then there is also financial input. If you want to support something, I think the most effective support is monetary support. So here you can see our analysis. Government input for more than 1 billion into tech and innovation. Well, there are 3 divisions here, fundamental research, applied research, and market development. These are the 3 dimensions, and we can see one big trend. When finance is tight in relation to the tech industry, still the government focuses a lot in its investment into the tech industry. In recent 3 years, let me give an example. I think you have heard this Race Plus scheme. So in tertiary institutions, there are professors and scholars, and their R&D findings are converted into a new financial assistance scheme. So JV companies will be set up as a result, and then there would be financial assistance from the Hong Kong government. Each project can get at most 100 million Hong Kong dollars. I think this is very attractive with a huge volume. Hong Kong government is setting up large-scale investment funds. Last year, there was the establishment of GIC with more than $62 billion of fund injection. And there are also several newly listed companies being supported. And then there is also the Innovation and Tech Fund with a scale of 80 to 100 billion. And this can also further promote further R&D findings. And there are things related to talents. Let me give one example. RTH scheme. I don't know whether you have heard it. In Hong Kong, if you have joined a tech company, or if you are a person in charge of a tech company and you hire a research person, then you can apply to the government for subsidy from this scheme. If you have PhD degree, each eligible person every month can get 45,000 Hong Kong dollars of subsidy plus MPF from the government. And this is available for 4 quarters for 3 years consecutively. If you are a tech company, if you need like 4 PhD holders to do R&D, then you can get altogether $6.4 million. This is very attractive, and it is very beneficial to retention of human resources and talents. Now let me update a figure here. So in global innovation and technology development in 2025 in GBA, actually the Hong Kong Shenzhen Guangzhou cluster came first. And then we have also published a research report. Now, for our association, our key members are young professors and doctors, PhD holders in Hong Kong, and they have turned their R&D outcomes into actual companies. 3 years ago, the percentage is below 3%. 2 years ago, 7 something percent, almost 8%. Last year, it reached 15%. So it almost doubles once every other year. So I believe that this number will continue to stay high. In Hong Kong, how many high-level tech talents are there in Hong Kong? So for the 8 top universities in Hong Kong, there are more than 13,000 graduates from PhD programs. And then for the ongoing PhD students number, based on the figures now, every year there will be new R&D findings conversion cases of more than 800. So I believe there will be more such cases in the future. So these are very favorable support for us. I'm not encouraging everyone to set up business. We have such good environment, so many talents, and such big creation or number of tech companies. I think this will pose new opportunities for talents in Hong Kong. So if we are newly admitted talents, when we find jobs, perhaps we can serve as joint founders and also managers, professional managers of the new startups. And then I think we can bring in our international resources and network and experience as well. Then together, the companies may develop into future unicorns. I think the achievements are already witnessed here in Hong Kong. Many people have already enjoyed the benefits of Hong Kong's R&D and talent development. If you refer to the universities in Hong Kong, Hong Kong is the only one with 5 universities among top 100 universities in the world. And their rankings are rising year after year. Now, regarding Hong Kong's tertiary institutions, as we know, the scale is not very big in terms of area and the number of scholars. Yesterday in Hong Kong, I received a friend from Peking University, and so we talked about the scale of universities. If you look at top 5 universities in Hong Kong, if you add up all the global top 100 universities under QS, well, the Hong Kong universities are not as big as Peking University and Tsinghua University in scale. So perhaps we can merge all the 8 top universities in Hong Kong and call it Hong Kong University. Then for the new Hong Kong University, I'm sure it will climb up to the top, to even number 1 in the world. It is totally possible. That is our strength in talents. And in fact, the scale of our universities is very small. However, we have many niches and segments with very high ranking. They are highly professional. Here you can see our research on Hong Kong's postgraduate degree holders. In tech and entrepreneurship, talents come first in Hong Kong. Every year, if you refer to the main tertiary institutions in Hong Kong, here you can refer to the numbers. These are data from the year before last year. In the top 8 universities in Hong Kong, back then 11,000 PhD students, and then last year 13,000. So the most are in computer science and AI, engineering-related subjects. Medicine-related, medical design, and so on. These are highly needed by hard technology. And we also have talents in business management. If we only count those in STEM professions, in Hong Kong, the high net worth talents account for like 7%. So these, well, every year there are 2,800 plus graduates. And then actually many of them are from the STEM disciplines. Last year, we announced a research on tech talents in Hong Kong. So from this, you can see that we have 9 prize winners, award winners, and also there are top scientists who have high rankings in Stanford. They are 2 out of 1,000 or 2% in terms of percentage. So you can see our high-level talents in Hong Kong with very high density. So this is a very strong support, talent support for our work in technology and entrepreneurship. So overall speaking, you can see that in the past few years, given the big trend change, there is big opportunity arising for youths in Hong Kong. So we have international financial resources, including venture capital resources and also other financial services. And then local incubation in Hong Kong. There is one new science park. At the end of December, there is the Hong Kong Shenzhen Industrial Park, which is near Lok Ma Chau, near the Loop. And then in our community, we are also promoting with big effort. So in Everbright Center, there is one floor which is built by us together with Everbright Group, which is an incubation platform. And also in the government departments and HKTE, we organize a number of large-scale events. And then every year, we hope to attract local investment companies and global tech and entrepreneurship companies to Hong Kong, startups to Hong Kong. That's the Novax Carnival. In the past 2 years, when we organized this, we can prove that Hong Kong's charisma is still big. In the first year, we already attracted more than 500 odd financial institutions and more than 300 tech companies to Hong Kong with good feedback. Now more and more tech projects would like to come to Hong Kong. And today we can see a very obvious trend. There are many foreigners here. I'm sure they come here because of the attractive environment of Hong Kong. So through financial resources, talent resources, and technology factors, and also interaction with those enterprises going abroad, if all these can be effectively integrated, then I think that will be even more boosting factors. So I think the Silicon Valley model can also be replicated in Hong Kong because we have very similar elements and factors with Silicon Valley. We have financial resources, good talents, good educational institutions, and the big hinterland. So on the Hong Kong Island, from Central to Wan Chai, that's our financial and business district. Our tech talent resources are in different research institutes and educational institutions. Science Park in Sha Tin is one place. And so in terms of geographical space, they are scattered around different places. But in the future, if that can be effective integration and cohesion, then companies can get good talents and capital, and then they can find the development opportunities in bigger space. So all the means of production can be replicated here in a big way. So each individual, each organization can participate in this chain, but we must find a good way to do it. And then another very encouraging point is regarding unicorns in Hong Kong. How many are there? Actually, there is not a systematic research. However, so here there is a concept known as Hong Kong factor unicorn. Why this name? Now, of course, there's the need for many factors for a unicorn to be born. And if you look at tech development in Hong Kong in the past, many unicorns might not be well known in Hong Kong. And later on, the Hong Kong government has adopted our definition of Hong Kong factors. So there are 4 types that can be categorized into this category. First, enterprises established by Hong Kongers, of course. And then the other group is they are born in Hong Kong. The third group is Hong Kong scholars establish some companies. For example, Hong Kong professors, they may establish some unicorns here. The fourth type is a large number of enterprises are established by Hong Kong graduates. They may go to Shenzhen and other places. They create companies and eventually they become unicorns. And in the past many years, they may not have big existence in Hong Kong, but in recent years, many high-quality tech companies return to Hong Kong. And there are more and more companies which are established in Hong Kong and they develop in Hong Kong, they stay in Hong Kong. So now our environment evolves from 0 to 1, 1 to 3, and then to 5, and so on. In 2024, when we first published this ranking, there are 53 unicorns that meet these criteria. So they already have some existence. At that time, when we published this so-called billboard, many people at that time were very excited. And so we published this billboard once a year. And then the last slide, so much has been said. So from different dimensions, we are deliberating this topic. Today's topic is about Hong Kong youths and also their tech entrepreneurship and career pathways and opportunities. So I have done my sharing from different aspects. There are some macro vague concepts that are not very meaningful to people. You are all in Hong Kong here now, so from different media you can see the advantages and strengths of Hong Kong in an intuitive way. So today I'm giving you more objective information and description. So you may only have some concepts before there are statistical data, but with statistics, that becomes a science. Back to a previous point. Hong Kong. Hong Kong's biggest trend in the past few decades and in the coming decades is that we need to protect our main pillar, that is finance, and then we also need to develop our technology. And the factors, the necessary factors are there already. It's up to us to build a chain and better connection. Hong Kong tech companies need to go abroad. Now, of course, we cannot depart from the internationalization of tech companies if we want to see further development. And then in the open reform history of our country, well, Hong Kong has brought modern technology and also foreign capital from Western countries. And now for good quality tech companies of China, we need to bring them overseas. If you look at Japan, within Japan, there are also 1 or 2 other Japans, according to some international scholars. And I think now Chinese tech companies face the same opportunity. And Hong Kong, once again, will shoulder this responsibility as a hub between the global world and China. And many companies have been Asia listed already. They are doing a good job. And then regarding refinancing in Hong Kong, there is research institutes being established about bringing very advanced products to overseas. I think this is going to be an important trend in the coming years, together with our international connection resource and talent resource and financial resources. I'm sure each Hong Konger can enjoy much benefits That's all from me. Thank you. Thank you, Steve, for the sharing. Please return to your seat. Now, in terms of workplace and also skills of finding jobs, I think these are very important. So our experts will share their experience, and there will be also sharing of different case studies so that people can be more ready for future job seeking. So now we're happy to invite Ms. Lillian Ho, advisor of Hong Kong Talent and Entrepreneurs Association, founder at Next Nova, to talk about navigating the Hong Kong career landscape. Lillian, please. Greetings. Thank you, HKTE, and also Hong Kong Talents Association. I am Lillian. I am a Hong Konger. So my Mandarin may carry some Hong Kong accents. Please don't mind.
My name is Lillian Ho. You can find me on LinkedIn or Instagram as well. 那很快说一下我的专业资历吧。那今天因为我
Okay, today I'm going to talk about the workplace development in Hong Kong and also culture here. Because I work on finance, I have 10 years of finance sector experience. At the beginning, I studied in the US. After graduation, I went to Goldman Sachs and I worked in investment banking. I worked on IPO projects and financing projects. I stayed there for 10 years. Then I moved to Hill House and I worked on the USD funds on financing. And then I became UBS director. And then I worked in the direct investment department. I worked on direct investment at that time. Last year in June, I changed to the current position, working on workplace arrangement. Now, I am the member of Financial Service Committee of Hong Kong General Chamber of Commerce and also in the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. I am one of the future leaders, and in 100 Women in Finance, I am the Early Mid-Career Committee Joint Chairman. At the same time, I am not only an entrepreneur now, I'm only a live streamer on LinkedIn, Red Note, WeChat, a video account, and so on. So my live streaming name is Hong Kong Lillian. Okay, here's my professional experience. At the beginning, I studied in Hong Kong. I actually studied in DGS in my secondary school days, and then I went to the US for further study. And then in 2015, I joined IBD of Goldman Sachs. And then at that time, I was the intern. After that, I got their full-time offer. I worked full-time in the investment banking department of Goldman Sachs. I worked on IPO and M&A financing projects. And then after 4 years, I moved to Hill House. Usually in Hong Kong, if you want to change your job, actually, when I was an intern, it was a standardized process. So very often, if you want to get full-time jobs, you have to go to Wangsheng. So you have to go to a website so that there will be some different sorts of screening there. But if you want to jump career, it's different. Usually it will be through friends referral or headhunters. I definitely need to share the following story. At that time, a headhunter approached me. He is a headhunter from the buy side. So usually they will go to investment banks to find people, and then they approached me. They said that Hill House and their IR team found my profile very appropriate. They asked whether I'm interested, so I sent my resume to them. In the first 3 weeks, I received no news. I was surprised because usually I would get at least one interview since I was working with Goldman Sachs. But later on, I realized that the headhunter has not referred my resume to the company. Why? There was an ex-colleague of Goldman Sachs who also worked in Hill House, and during our coffee chat, she told me that she realized that the hiring manager of Hill House directly referred my resume to them, but then for the headhunter, they have many different candidates. Many of them have reached the final round already. So if at that time my resume is referred to the company, then the whole hiring process will be lengthened. Because of this, I realized that my own interpersonal connections will be most reliable. I will get that offer myself instead of the headhunters referral getting the offer. So usually for headhunters, if their candidates succeed, they will get commission from the company, the employer. And usually for each position, headhunters will refer or will submit 20 resumes. But that number 20 may not include your CV. So if you have your own interpersonal connections, then that would be the best. And then how did I then move to UBS? Again, I went through the website. So the boss at that time was also my ex-colleague in Goldman Sachs. He has been paying attention to me. He knew my past work experience. He found me appropriate, so that's why I was hired. After telling my story, very quickly, let me talk about investment bank structure. The front offices. Usually there are 4 parts. Investment banking is the first one. That is the department which I worked in the past. It's usually responsible for IPO and financing projects. Let me first talk about the investment banking department. As stated here, coverage. Coverage is divided into different regions. Some cover mainland Chinese customers, some cover Hong Kong local customers. There are also Southeast Asian customers. So it is by region. And then the second point, products. So products refer to equity capital markets, ECM. So those are related to equity. DCM means debt capital market, debt issuance. Industry means different sectors like TMT, in the past in Goldman Sachs, technology, media, and telecom, TMT. And there are also consumer-related customers. And in the past, I worked in the financial institution department. So in other words, banks, insurance companies, they were my counterparts. And then the second division is global markets. They mainly work on secondary markets, purchase and sale of equities, derivatives, and so on. S&T means sales and trading. So if you watch The Wolves of Wall Street, that movie, that office is on the trading floor, but investment banking office is not there. So when you watch the film, please do not have the impression that they are investment bankers. They are actually Wall Street traders. They will make phone calls with 6 monitors in front of them. That is the S&T department. And then research into equities and industries. So for example, when you see a certain stock, let's say NVIDIA, they publish reports about the company, and then the investment banks will issue a target price in the next quarter. So that is report made by equity researchers. Structuring. So they are more complicated products, usually in the secondary market. The third and the fourth divisions can be categorized as asset management, division, but they are mainly for the institutional investors. Those clients are usually insurance companies or sovereign funds. They are their customers. And there are different people working on different things in the division. There are people working on investment, and then some are selling products in the banks. The fourth division is also asset management, but the investors are individual investors, like family offices or individuals who own at least 5 million USD who can open accounts with investment banks. So they seldom deal with institutional investors. They mainly deal with individual investors. So asset management and private wealth or private banking divisions have more and more development potential. And there are more recruitment opportunities there. But the threshold is not as high as investment banking department, because they will evaluate candidates' selling skills and also product knowledge. For private banking department, the bankers are relationship managers. And for products, they are product specialists. They have rich knowledge about certain asset class. For example, private equity. They will find people who specialize in private equity, or people who handle certain equities in the secondary market. And investment means making investment for private individuals, individual customers. They will manage their portfolios. And then there are other middle and back offices positions: finance, IT, HR, internal audit, compliance, and so on. These are middle and back office positions for investment banking divisions. If there is no financial experience at all, then how can these people get into investment banks? Just now I talked about asset management and private banking with lower threshold, because if you want to join investment bank, you have to first master financial modeling. So we had cooperation with Wall Street Oasis, and because their financial courses are very good and reliable, so we collaborate with them. And then apart from financial modeling, I think now employers attach importance to whether you have industry knowledge. So for example, recently, do you know what companies have been listed? And what are some important M&A cases or projects that are influential in the industry? This is even more important than knowing financial modeling, because during interview, the interviews will not ask you to walk them through a DCF. Of course, if you interview for a position in investment bank, you will get these technical questions. But for other employers, they will see whether you are presentable and whether you have passion in the industry, whether you have knowledge in the industry. That is more important. So every day, if you spend 10 minutes to watch the news, for example, Financial Times, Wall Street Journal, then you will know what is happening in the world. And if you know about the finance sector, for example, latest events of companies, I think that is very useful. If you are already working in the industry, then you may have some soft skills which you can make good use of. Now, if there are people who would like to jump into the finance industry, and if you do not have any prior finance experience, then it would be good to obtain some globally recognized certifications. And then on the left, these are the fundamentals. about building your foundation. On the right, you need to strategize your entry. So first, you have to network with the right people. If you don't have any financial experience, it will be very difficult to get into the top 3 U.S. investment banks. So I would suggest that you can start from Hong Kong local asset management companies. You can give them a try first. And also some boutique firms which are less well known. You can start from there. And then gradually you can accumulate your work experience, and then you can jump to the bigger banks. At the same time, you can also start from internship and from contract roles, and then you can switch to full-time positions. Then the success rate will be a lot higher. And finally, interview skills. So apart from the finance sector, I think these are the 3 industry trends. First, tech and fintech. Just now, Mr. Gao already said that there are many new unicorns. And they also recruit people. See fintech, virtual banks, they would like to get sales-related people and product managers. The threshold is not as high. And many companies work on AI and Web3. Famous Web3 like Amber Group, OSL, HashKey, Animoca, they are Web3 new companies. So you can browse online to see whether there are new openings. So Hong Kong government supports fintech a lot. So I think this industry will continue to grow. The other one is professional services. Many listed Hong Kong companies right now need people to have the skills to help the company to do AI transformation. So you may not want to go into finance, but if you have worked on transformation and related advisory work, then you can think of this direction. ESG is now very hot. So they always want experienced people to help them achieve transformation. And finally, now there are many platform hosts and bloggers who give advisory service. So it all depends on the soft skills that you have that you can contribute to customers. Right now, there are many banks and traditional industries that need to do different types of promotion. So they always need freelancers to do marketing for them. So there are copywriters and also video producers in need. So these are good soft skills. Very quickly, I'm going to talk about cultural differences. So I think to some companies, Cantonese is quite important. But for foreign companies, the main medium of communication is English. To find jobs in Hong Kong, the best is to prepare a one-page English resume. And then for foreign companies, their culture may be slightly different. Compliance has fixed structure usually. So for Goldman Sachs or Google, if they want to recruit fresh graduates, they will have very long procedure, and then they will have many layers of screening and interviews, which is very structured. For Hong Kong local firms, I think they attach more importance to internal referral. For local Hong Kong firms, sometimes they will recruit through headhunters and also through the employer's friends referral. So internal referral would be more important. Many employers of these companies are Hong Kongers. So when they employ subordinates, they want people who understand Cantonese. mainland Chinese firms or SOEs, usually they are more entrepreneurial. So as long as you can help the boss to solve problems, then they will appreciate you. So regarding promotion pathway, there is not a fixed one. For foreign companies, usually there is fixed promotion pathway. You have to work for at least like 3 years or 5 years before you can be promoted to VP. But for Chinese firms, within 1 year, if you can prove to the boss that you are competent and that you have done a lot to help the company make money, then you can be promoted very easily. But the main medium of communication is Mandarin. So if you want to work in mainland Chinese firms, you may not need Cantonese. Application timeline in Hong Kong. Usually, if you want to find a good job, you need to have at least 6 months for preparation. And then you need to get yourselves ready now because this is the beginning of a year. And after CNY, there will be many job openings. And at the beginning, you have to compile your English CV, one-page CV. For those companies which you are interested in, you need to have in-depth understanding. If you don't have basic understanding of the companies, then during interview, how can you convince the interviewers to hire you? At the same time, you need to do some networking. So later on, I will tell you how to achieve effective networking. And then if you can have basic Cantonese skill for communication, you will get additional marks. And then online application, that is standardized. After submitting CV, you still need to prepare an application letter. If we are talking about natural hire, if you have work experience, then if you have an application letter, that is very useful. That is better than mere online application. And then you may have to do a lot of tests online. And then after the CV stage, there will be interview. Usually, at the interview stage, that means there is no problem with your CV. So if you are in the interview stage, then the most important thing is to enhance your interview skills. So there will be some behavioral, cultural fit questions. For example, why do you want to join our company? Why are you interested in our industry? These are commonly asked questions. So you have to tell your story well. You should prepare a 2-minute self-introduction. So you have to reach a perfect standard in terms of self-introduction. So you have to do a lot of preparation. I have prepared a 12-page interview answers when I prepared for the Goldman Sachs interview. So if you want to find good job, then you have to start your preparation work now. At the same time, there are also things related to the industry. You have to get yourself very familiar because some industry-specific technical questions will be asked. And finally, when you get the offer, then you can talk about remuneration, and then onboarding will start after that. So, okay, right now, I am a career coach, and then I also work on lifestyle experiences and networking events. Let me supplement. There are now more opportunities for setting up business. If you want to start up your business after graduation, I think you need a very good product market fit. You have to be able to solve existing pain points in the market in order to succeed. If you want to start your business, money is not enough. You need some interpersonal resources or network in Hong Kong. You need to find working partners and customers. You need many years to accumulate all these. I always organize many different events. When I was in UBS, I have been working in this company on a part-time basis. And in June last year, I decided to go full-time. So if you have a full-time job, you can think of taking up some part-time work first and see how you are doing. Many leaders in the industry are my friends. They also support me and my community a lot. For example, one of the unicorns, Pronetics, the founder CEO is also my friend, whom I invite to my events. So here you can see the founder of Bowtie Insurance and also CEO of Sun Hong Kai Capital, former CEO of Link. They support my community a lot. So I think effective socializing and interpersonal resources are important. You should not go to coffee chat only when you need to find jobs. You should start now, because all my personal resources are accumulated in the past 10 years. You have to do networking anytime. And then final thoughts. I think the most important three pillars are: you have to be clear of your own positioning. What are your shining points, so to speak? Right now, involution is getting more and more severe. And then there are too much news, too much information of different kind. Then you'll be confused. So you have to be precise in your application. You should find one or two areas or industries which you are good at and you don't have any resistance. I always say the ideal job is things that you like to do. At the same time, people will pay you to do those things. Then that is ideal job. But this is difficult. You should first find things that you are good at. And then at the same time, in Hong Kong, in this workplace environment, find an area where there are opportunities. So pick one or two fields to make applications. And you have to upgrade your skills and language all the time. Well, you cannot speak Cantonese overnight. So usually you need 3 to 6 months to learn a language. And then you need strategic networking. No matter whether you set up your own business or be employed, you need some business partners to support you, right? So this is my company's way of contact or means of contact. If you would like to follow me or ask me questions, you can take a photo of this slide. So for today's event, I have prepared a 20-page career success guide, which is in English. So you can download it and read it yourself at your own pace. Besides, today I want to thank Hong Kong TE for the invitation. So I have prepared a career launchpad toolkit, which contains templates of CV and application letter which I used before. There is career goal planner, job application tracker. So many people don't know where to start. So I have put together this with my past 10 years of experience. I have counseled more than 100 trainees. So all the bits and pieces are included in this toolkit. And I hope that you can very quickly get started. Otherwise, you will feel confused. You don't know where to start, and then you won't start. So I put together this toolkit with all the simple bits and pieces so that you can get started. I hope you will gain a lot today. Please feel free to ask me questions later. Thank you. Thank you, Lillian, for the sharing. Please return to your seat. So through today's seminar, I hope that you will have better understanding of the opportunities in the tech and entrepreneurial space and also workplace development. Now it's time for Q&A. If you have questions, please raise your hand. Our colleagues will pass you a microphone and invite you to speak. Those online can also ask questions. We will try our best to answer your questions. Let me invite Steve and Lillian back to the stage, please. Greetings. Well, some time ago, we have already received some questions from participants during your presentation. They would like to know how to better understand the high-end work opportunities in Hong Kong, entrepreneurship platform, and related policies. Well, if it is related to finance, as I said earlier, so you should get certificates, for example, CFA. After that examination, then you can get into the CFA community. So there are different finance associations like CFA, CMA, and I used to be director of CMA. And there are different financial institutions or associations which I recommend you to join. And then there is also the Hong Kong Talent Entrepreneurship Association. So you can join seminars organized by the government. And if you are offline here, you can get to know one another. I think since you are here, you have expectations of yourselves. So you are actively trying to upgrade yourself. So please join more events of this nature. And then you can also seek information online. Just now, I mentioned the Hong Kong General Chamber of Commerce. So that's the English name. I think you can browse online to get more understanding. In the tech field, well, actually, there are tech institutions, R&D institutions, universities, and so on. There are clear name lists which you can find easily. For example, there are universities, R&D centers, and also some newly built centers, and then some communities, as Lillian mentioned. At Science Park, there are many technology institutions and tech enterprises. You can get a lot of information about those. And then different industry associations. In Hong Kong, there are many different trade associations. If you pay attention to this kind of events, you can also seek information from official websites and also trade fairs. At the Science Park, there are also some self-established media through which you can get information. Another question, how can tech companies start business in Hong Kong? And for young people who would like to start up their business, what kind of support are available in Hong Kong? Okay, well, this is a broad topic. There are many tech companies going abroad to Hong Kong. We have seen many successful cases. First of all, in Hong Kong, they found their place in Hong Kong market. In Hong Kong and the mainland, there is one difference from overseas. In Hong Kong, the population is not very big, and there are very convenient infrastructure like octopus, credit card, and this is different from many mainland consumption culture. And if I give a simple example, digitalization, those from the mainland know that digitalization is integrated with our daily life. We cannot depart from such tools. But in Hong Kong, digitalization in the past years developed quite slowly. And this gives new opportunities for tech companies. Let me give an example. MPF authority has introduced a platform, and usually I recommend two apps. One is known as County Tong Smart Place. It is under LCSD, making it convenient for people to book sports venues and barbecue venues and so on. So the amount of capital involved in the development is 500 million Hong Kong dollars. And then But then on the mainland, the highest quotation for developing a similar app is 5 million. So in Hong Kong, there are also hospital redevelopment plans and so on. There are people who return from overseas to the mainland, and they work on medical device, and then they have developed a CT machine. Their first customer is from Hong Kong. I think there are many such opportunities. There are mainland companies who do 3D scan modeling, who have obtained orders of a few $10 million. So in Hong Kong, it seems that things are already very comprehensive, but you can still find new opportunities from new perspectives. Of course, you need to understand local policies in Hong Kong. Thank you. There's a question from the online platform for Lillian. So Lillian, please give more suggestions. For fintech in Hong Kong, what are some concrete opportunities for development? And what are some niche verticals, for example, payments? And what about green fintech? In my PPT, I mentioned that at present, there are many cross-border payments. One of them is Air Wallets. It is a unicorn. They are developing fast. They keep on recruiting product manager and sales teams. For this type, the threshold is not as high. At the same time, you can use your soft skills. Apart from fintech opportunities, I also mentioned Web3 companies. For Web3 companies, they are promoting a lot in Hong Kong. Some time ago, there was the Hong Kong FinTech Week, and then there are some Web3 forum as well. Usually, they organize big exhibitions in big exhibition galleries. Then you can go there to find job opportunities. Apart from attending these trade fairs, you can also seek an understanding of the culture of these companies. You can at least let them know you. You can meet them face to face. So these events are worthwhile attending. In the future, for Web3 and AI companies, with different governments and different financing assistance and support, they will become bigger and bigger. You have to first understand the whole ecosystem and which companies are more reliable. There are of course some companies that are not as sound. You have to first understand the industry and see whether you are interested in that industry, whether there is room for development, and whether there is a good match with your own capabilities, and whether there are job openings. And then you can find some good and reliable companies to put in applications. Any questions here and now from participants here? Stephen, greetings. I am from the mainland, and I studied a PhD program in Hong Kong. Very soon I will graduate, and I would face the job-seeking difficulty very soon. After finishing the PhD program, very often graduates will seek openings to be lecturers, but I don't really like that. So I'm going to face career difficulty and dilemma. What is your recommendation? As you said, most PhD holders will take up teaching posts, but more and more people would like to find jobs in R&D positions. But if you want to do R&D, well, in Hong Kong, there are many new style research institutions that are highly integrated and closely connected with the industries. You can pay attention to those. In Hong Kong, there are also many tech companies. Some come from other countries. So they are like research organizations of enterprises. They are like companies, research teams. You can also pay attention to those. Okay, so research organizations and companies. So comparing with the teaching post requirements, the requirements are different, not the same. For most tertiary institutions, the teaching position holders also do research. They will publish theses and so on. For enterprises and new tech research companies, they would like to achieve some findings or outcomes. So if you don't want to bury yourselves in writing thesis, okay, so that means I need to continue my learning? No, I don't think that is done via learning. You need to go through a certain period of probation. Okay, thank you. Okay, greetings. I have my own company in Shenzhen, and in Hong Kong, I am a high talent, and I am looking into starting my business because of the strengths of Hong Kong and also my going global plan. But then my experience here is very different from my Shenzhen experience. In Hong Kong, I think I need to open a bank account, and to me, I at first thought that it was easy, but there are many different requirements saying that it is difficult to open a bank account, a corporate bank account. It would take a long time, and I need to do a lot of market research. So my question is, working on tech and innovation, this is simple in Shenzhen. When I make application in the morning, in the afternoon, I get the necessary permit already. Why so difficult in Hong Kong? Is it possible for things to become more convenient and speedy in the future? Now, if I offer online service, why do I have to rent an office? This is not reasonable. And there are many banking requirements. For a startup, these requirements are hassles to me. So my question is, in Hong Kong, so actually, is there any enhancement plan that will be implemented? We are in the Web3 era already. There are many rules which look to be very old-fashioned, old school to me. So sorry about that. Okay, so I think this is a cultural difference between the two places. Well, some indeed have to be submitted. Of course, digitalization can streamline some administrative processes. Concerning bank accounts opening, I think you have to understand, because Hong Kong is a free financial market. So Hong Kong relies on strong regulation to achieve compliance. So actually, once you get an account opened, you will enjoy lots of convenience as well. So when it comes to information asymmetry, some service providers and some intermediaries will work from their perspective. So I think you have to knock on bank doors and tell them your needs. It is not really very difficult. It's just that the process is more complicated than that on the mainland. And your other question is that in Hong Kong, do you need a physical office? I guess this culture will gradually change. There is a recent saying, OPC one person office, and in the future, there may not be the need of a physical accommodation. So I think this will gradually change and keep up with time. So Hong Kong is a service-oriented society. So you can also seek help from many service providers, but you have to do fact check to see whether the information you get is real or not. Right. My question is, regarding Hong Kong, fintech and Web3 and blockchain, comparing with US, Germany, UK, Dubai, and Singapore, what are some points of uniqueness and advantages or strengths? Well, I'm not familiar with this. I think your question is a big one and a broad one. Well, let me supplement. Based on my understanding, Hong Kong is a place where regulation is strong, but it is not as strict as in Singapore. But in Hong Kong, if you look at banks, I think, how should I put it? Conventional financial industries are still well developed, but fintech, Web3 are still at a start. So if you talk about the startups, what are some unique strengths of Hong Kong? Well, I think for Hong Kong's unique strengths, no matter what industry you're talking about, well, Hong Kong is geographically very close to mainland China, and the population of China is 1.4 billion. It is still increasing. And then its geographical position is such that Hong Kong, the government is promoting the internationalization of our brand. Hong Kong connects both East and West. It is very international. That is Hong Kong's strength, together with the geographic environment. No matter which industry you are in, given the geographic location and talents here, I think Hong Kong people are very efficient at work, and we are all literate and trilingual. These are unique strengths. Just now you mentioned fintech. I mentioned Air Wallets and WeLab. They have companies in Southeast Asia. So these are rather renowned companies, not only in Hong Kong. In Southeast Asia, on the mainland, they have the branch offices. Their business is in Southeast Asia and mainland, and now they extend more and they develop more in the Middle East as well. Unless if you refer to local fintech companies in the Middle East and their differences with those in Hong Kong, then I'm not sure, because I focus on Hong Kong. For those Web3 fintech companies from the Middle East or in Hong Kong, they also have business on the mainland and Southeast Asia. Thank you. No other questions. I have a question for Mr. Gao. Referring to tertiary institutions in Hong Kong, there are quite many with good rating. So what are their strengths in meditech or health tech, especially when Hong Kong is compared to neighboring places like the mainland? What is its uniqueness and comparative advantage? For Hong Kong's tertiary institutions, there are two universities with medical schools, Hong Kong U and the Chinese University of Hong Kong. And last year, another new approval is given to the Hong Kong UST. And in Hong Kong Baptist U, there is Chinese medicine faculty. In Hong Kong Polytechnic, there is also related discipline. If you talk about health tech or medical R&D, the Hong Kong U has deep heritage with very renowned scholars. Comparing Hong Kong and Shenzhen, Guangdong, or the mainland, Hong Kong's population ratio is too small. If you talk about medical industrialization and digitalization with an inadequate population scale, this is a limitation. But of course, we can cooperate with the mainland. Let me give an example. In Hong Kong, there is a research institution which has worked on internet plus ultrasonic surveillance of people's arteries. And every year in Hong Kong, there are only a few hundred cases from which data can be used for training. And so they encountered big difficulty. Later on, they collaborated with medical school of Fudan University. And in Shanghai, they have worked on a few 100,000 cases. If there are not enough data, then training cannot be done adequately. So with the collaboration, the work is much enhanced. So now they are commercializing in the US and mainland China. They have done registration work already of the medical device. I think Hong Kong, well, can also attract many talents to come. International interface is good, especially about new drugs and so on. In Hong Kong, we can use the US and European and Japanese standards. So there will be very good environment here.
Could Lillian please answer my question? So currently I am studying fintech in HKBU, and I have like programming background, so I studied computer science as well. But like keeping all these technical asides, right? When you want to break into like sales and trading, like at UBS or Goldman Sachs, what are the like top 3 soft skills that recruiters look in you?
You're talking about sales and trading, to
Yep.
be specific, right? So there's also sales and also trading. Like salespeople are the guys who call up like, hedge funds, selling them like, giving them market updates and stuff. But there's also like trader part, which they do the trading instantly. So depending on you want to be sales, if you're more like sales, obviously you have to make like phone calls every day. So that's a communication skill which you need. But if you're a trader, it's just like I mentioned just now, there are like 6 screens in front of you. You have to be like attention to detail, right? Like if you're like trading and you're doing 1 million versus like 10 million, it would cause a lot of trouble. So I think either way, either your sales and trading, being in an investment bank, the first skill would be like attention to detail. Like that's very important. And having like a good work ethic, especially for sales and trading, it's very high intensity. You wake up basically at like 6 a.m. and then you go to office, meet with people for morning meetings. Also depending on your like personal lifestyle preferences. Like for me, I did not even bother applying to sales and trading because I know I couldn't wake up that early and I hate like that kind of lifestyle. But there are people who can. So first, attention to detail. Second, I would say like the soft skill, which you also should pitch yourself and develop yourself, would be communication skills, which is quite important as well. Given you have to, like navigate like in the sales floor, manage your bosses under like high intensity. So having this, how should I put it? Like having the ability to handle stress or like handle tight deadlines, that would be the third skill.
And would you say that having experience as like as a retail trader, or like let's say I generally do like simulations, does that like add up, or does that create a good impression in terms of your application, or does the retail trading, like does it not matter in terms of like when you are dealing with like institutional trading?
You mean your own personal account trading for your own personal account? Also, depending on like how you quantify your achievement, right? Like if you're trading your own PA and you made, I think like hedge funds return on average last year is about like 10 to 20%. The better ones would be around like 40-ish%. The really top hedge funds like Bridgewater, Marshall Ways, like all these top hedge funds, Citadel, Millennium. I guess like if your PA is performing better than the industry benchmark, it's an added bonus, right? So you have to quantify your achievements, like when you're putting in your resume or in your cover letter or even in your interviews, you have to quantify your achievement, like how much return did you generate the past year? Like is it much higher than like the popular like well-known hedge funds? But if it's not, I guess it can demonstrate your interest. But even better candidate would be you're actually trading real money with your own personal account and you achieve like X number of like X% of return in the past year. That would be an even better candidate.
Oh, thank you, and like thank you for sharing the story. Like it is very inspiring as well.
Yeah. I mean, like 我呢，就其实
For example, for me, my parents did not work on finance, so back then I spent a lot of time falling into traps. So the whole process is a lengthy one. I did long preparation. You should not only start when you need to find jobs, you have to start now, because you need a self-exploration stage. You need to understand more about yourself, what you like, and which industries you're interested in. When you sit interviews, you have to see, or the interviewer wants to see, whether he can work with you, whether you have passion, whether he can trust you before he hires you. So you need a quiet place to imagine the direction that you want to follow. And then think of your own skills. If your interests and skills match that position, then very soon you will get the job you want. Thank you, guests, for your sharing. Thank you, on-site participants, and questions from online participants. That's the end of our webcast today. Thank you for your support. And we will have networking time from now till 5. You can stay and communicate with our guests. Please return the completed questionnaire to our colleagues so that we can organize more appropriate events in the future. Thank you for your participation today. See you next time.